You can cry on command.
But they are usually very fast, and that is why I decided to create this. Welcome to Free Talk, the show to help you learn English the fun and simple way. Ready? Valentine's Day is over. The origins of this celebration can be traced back to pagan festivities, the commemoration of a priest who was sentenced to death after performing marriage ceremonies in secret, because it was forbidden by the Emperor Claudius II on the grounds that single men made better soldiers. At the end of the 5th century, Pope Gelasius instituted February 14th as the celebration of Saint Valentine. But it was not until the late 1300s that this celebration was entirely associated with love and romance. Today, Valentine's Day is one of the most celebrated holidays in the world. In the United States alone, 62% of the population celebrates it, and approximately 150 million cards are exchanged annually, making Valentine's Day the second most popular card-sending holiday only after Christmas. With time, it seems as if any ritual, any celebration we have, fades out. It slowly decreases and fewer people decide to celebrate them. But that is not the case for February 14th. Maybe because love is at the core of our lives. There is always one form of love present in our lives. Whether it's the romantic kind of love between spouses or between girlfriends and boyfriends, the love for the family, for humankind, the love for friends. I personally think that by adding friendship into the equation, this holiday becomes the one holiday that every person can celebrate. All of us have one friend, one person at the very least, to whom show our love or appreciation. And Valentine's Day fits that purpose perfectly, at least once a year. But this episode is not about love. On a couple of episodes from our video series, I talked about love. But there is so much talk about love and so little talk about this other feeling that I think it's quite important as well. I'm talking about the aftermath. Aftermath, A-F-T-E-R-M-A-T-H. Aftermath is the consequence, the result, the sequel of something. And what is the aftermath of love, if not heartbreak? Maybe at this point you are asking yourself, why is Alan making an episode about having your heart broken? About being abandoned, about not being loved? Is he some kind of depressive maniac who enjoys having his heart torn apart? Well, no, I am not, but I have my reasons. This episode is not going to be a bummer. Bummer, by the way, is something that it's disappointing or that lets you down. You can listen to a sad song and say, that's a bummer. That song gets me blue. Bummer is spelled B-U-M-M-E-R. Bummer. But this episode is not going to be like that. To introduce this topic, I should start by letting you know how this idea came to me. At this point, you know a few of my interests. I like books, I like TV shows, I like movies. and language and coffee, of course. But I am also a big fan of comedy. I like sitcoms on TV, I like comedy movies, but I also really enjoy comedy in itself, and particularly stand-up comedy. I think that being able to keep an audience laughing for 1 hour is a great achievement. It takes a lot of creativity and wit, genius, if you will, to do a job like that. And there is a big number of comedians who I admire for that reason, because they are telling you something that makes you crack up, that is, burst in laughter, laugh a lot. But the comedians that I like the most have the ability to make you laugh while at the same time give you something to think about, something to reflect upon. For me, the best example of this kind of comedian is Louis C.K. He's a great writer, comedian, and also a producer. He has a TV show called Louis, which is so well written that goes beyond comedy and touches parts of you that leave you thinking, wasn't this supposed to be a comedy? Anyway, the other day I was going through some videos on YouTube and a clip from this show appeared in my suggestions. The clip was called "Misery is Wasted on the Miserable." The title alone got me thinking, this is another example of an oxymoron. Do you remember? We talked about oxymorons on the episode 11, The Longing for the Unwanted. Misery is wasted on the miserable is an absurd idea. Miserable people are those who are in misery. But then, what does it mean? This idea is taken maybe from a similar idea, a quotation attributed to George Bernard Shaw, although some people credit Oscar Wilde, but the phrase is "youth is wasted on the young," a clear oxymoron. But let's continue with the clip. On this video, a guy, Louis, is talking to a stranger in the street, an old man, and he's telling him that he feels so sad because his girlfriend walked out on him. She abandoned him. "I took a chance," he says, "to be in love, to be happy. I knew that it was a risk, that there was a possibility that I would end up feeling sad and miserable if she ever left me. And she did. And it's not worth it. I loved her, but now she's gone and I miss her, and it sucks." The old man looks at him, puzzled. He doesn't understand, and he says, "You think that spending time with her, kissing her, that was love? This is love. Missing her, wanting to die because she's gone. You are so lucky. This is the good part. You have it in your hands, the sweet, sad love." "This is not the bad part?" Louis asks. "No, the bad part is when you forget her. The bad part is coming, so enjoy the heartbreak while you can." They argue a little bit, and the old man walks away, saying, "You are the most boring person on earth." Louis stays there, standing still like an idiot. And I gotta admit, I was like that, like an idiot, when I finished watching this clip. This is not an idea that was entirely new to me. I had thought about it, but I don't think that I have ever heard it before, spoken, articulated, and it really resonated with me. You see, one of the few things that I really like, that really makes me feel alive, is being in love. On my personal life, I can be really serious and cold. But when I love, I really love. I surrender. I give everything I have, even when I know that the chances of getting really hurt are high. And I have been in relationships where the other part is holding back. They think, I really want to give everything I have, but I am too scared of getting hurt or getting you hurt. And when you do that, when you put a limit on how much love you are willing to give in a relationship, you are not really loving. You are playing a game, and you are playing not to lose. And think about it. When you decide to restrain yourself, when you decide, I am not going to take any chances because my last relationship ended badly, or my love history is terrible, when you do that, you are not enjoying love. You are not living love. And with a relationship so limited, a breakup is a natural consequence. No relationship can survive with so little and so cautiously administered love. And when the heartbreak inevitably comes, you will not enjoy it because you will not feel miserable. You didn't lose because you never took a chance to win, and you are not feeling anything, neither when you love, nor when you are not loved anymore. I ended a relationship almost 2 years ago. I was totally immersed in that relationship. I loved with all my energy, with every part of me. But now she's gone for almost 2 years. And nowadays, the memory of her is weaker every time. I seldom think about her. It doesn't hurt like in the beginning. And little by little, I am returning to my old self. The guy who was not in love or out of love. And in spite of how good you feel because the memory of a past lover no longer haunts you, I start feeling empty. Because there is no love, there is no longing, there is no tormenting, there is just emptiness. And that, feeling empty, is the end of a heartbreak. And it sucks. I would like to share with you an excerpt of a book by C.S. Lewis that I think is really ad hoc to this topic. It's taken from Out of the Silent Planet, page 73. And it says, "A pleasure is full grown only when it is remembered." You are speaking, man, as if the pleasure were one thing and the memory another. It is all one thing. What you call remembering is the last part of the pleasure. When you and I met, the meeting was over very shortly. It was nothing. Now it is growing something as we remember it. But still, we know very little about it. What it will be when I remember it as I lie down to die. What it makes in me all my days till then. That is the real meaning. The other is only the beginning of it. This is just my personal opinion on the topic. I know that you surely have a different view on this subject, and I would love to read it. You can let me know in the review section here on iTunes or on the comment section in our page www.freetalkenglish.com/podcast. I will send the transcription to this episode via email to the subscribers of the free course and the newsletter in our website, so you can listen and read this episode. I will also leave the video clip from Louis and the excerpt of the book that I just read in the blog post for this episode in our website. I will see you once again on Wednesday for a new episode. My name is Alan, and keep it simple.
This is love, missing her because she's gone, wanting to die. You're so lucky. You're like a walking poem. Would you rather be some kind of a fantasy, some kind of a Disney ride? Is that what you want? Don't you see, this is the good part. This is what you've been digging for all this time. Now you finally have it in your hand, this sweet nugget of love. Sweet, sad love. And you want to throw it away. You've got it all wrong.